Take some. Okay, so this is Nick Schellenberger. So is that wrong?
Schellenberger.
Schellen. I thought it was Schellenberger.
This is, I don't even know your last name.
It's Harvey. It was Butters. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, but Harvey sounds more realistic. I don't even know why.
Well, I don't know.
Good job. This is Chanel.
So I'll just let him get started and he can do his introduction and all that stuff. He saw his wife and his daughters are here, so. Are you good if they ask questions and stuff throughout?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll let you get started.
There's a good chance I have some brain damage and I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. So you can like raise your hand to ask a question or raise your hand to tell me what I said wrong. Whatever you want to do it. Or just go with it. My soccer team, they wear pink or green, and I always yell at the blue team, and they all get very upset about it. So just whatever you get, you get. My name is Nick, and I'm here to talk about traumatic brain injuries, which is kind of funny because I don't know how good of a teacher you have, but she brought someone with brain damage to talk about brain damage. It might not be very good, but I'm going to give it a try. Wait, I got to go over here. So real quick background about me. I've been in education for 16 years. Mostly I teach like junior high type level because I love those kids. But for 4 years I was at the Utah State Board of Education where I was an education specialist for youth in custody, which was tons of fun. And the coolest thing I love to mention is my budget was $27 million. And it was so cool the first day I started, and by the end when I went back to teaching, all money is fake money. It doesn't mean anything. Let's see. So 6 weeks at the start of this school year, I went back to Walquest because I wanted to get back into teaching. I only made it 6 weeks until they fired me. And my wife gets mad to say that they fired me, but guess what? I did not go back to teaching, and it was not my choice. So somehow I got fired. I keep trying to tap that. Oh, don't you guys even have things that don't move around here?
We have a clicker.
I know
His
it's I
battery
told him
is
I could
dead.
go get it, but he said.
That's okay, I'll just forget a lot, it'll be fun. So October 1st, this was like just over 6 months ago now. I was in a car, in the passenger seat of a car, on our way home from a, oh man, dumb stuff like this happens all the time, football game. I had to think what football is called. And we pulled out in front of a big truck. That's a bad idea. If you ever want to try it, don't do it. And the truck hit us, and well, I don't really remember anything about any of that. See, the reality is, of all this stuff I'm talking about, I don't even know. Like, other people told me, and I'm telling you secondhand. I've even watched some videos, and I have no idea. In fact, for 2 miles before the crash, nothing. My brain was totally gone. I have no idea how that happens. But everyone assures me it will never, ever come back. I'll never get to think what happened in those 2 miles. My daughter, Lucky Mirabelle, was in the car with me. And I said 8 hours, but they said it's not 8 hours. How long did she not be able to remember?
At first it was like 8, but then she got more like 3 hours.
Oh.
She doesn't remember the football game.
Well, let there be little blessings in your life. Yes, no football. Yeah, so, well, we were in a crash. And the lucky thing in the crash was that Mirabelle was not physically harmed very much. I mean, I don't think she felt good about it or anything. Mentally, of course, everyone has a little more trouble. Me, however, I was harmed a bit. In fact, I'm going to pass around my skull. I'll tell you, this is not the actual school, but it is a very actual duplicate of my school. That is how big the hole in my head was from the crash. I went straight to the doctors. Well, actually, I don't know. They tell me that oh crud. What do you call the people who drive the cars that pick up people who got in a crash?
Ambulance.
Oh yeah, the ambulance came. And I got in the ambulance, they took me straight to the hospital. Here's the amazing thing. We have a little recording on our car, and it only took the ambulance like 3 minutes to get there. From crash until saving my life, 3 minutes. It was amazing. But they took me to the hospital. And the worst thing is they wouldn't give me any pain meds. I tell you what, if I could remember that, I would yell at them, but I can't remember it, so it's fine. Let's see, they did a CT scan that looked okay, right? Even though I'd been in a car crash, they did a CT scan and they're like, oh, we'll keep an eye on this guy for a little while and see if he's all right. And they put a 24 to 48 hour watch on there. I'm sorry if my notes kind of suck. They're actually for me and not for you guys because I gotta remember what I'm saying. Let's see. Except our doctor had kind of a last minute decision. He thought, oh man, they better take an angiogram, which I have no idea. I hope you guys know what an angiogram is because I got one. It probably cost a couple bucks. And the doctor went home. And he took his shoes off, and then his phone rang, and he talked, and he put his shoes back on, and came right back because I had a brain bleed. Inside my head, the brains were bleeding, and never bled out of my face except right out of my ear, and a lot of blood came out of that ear, which is kind of gross, I guess, for people who remember it. And they had surgery. The surgery is kind of what you see on, I don't know where the school went. The school went. I don't even actually know about the surgery. I know they took that much skull off. I don't know if they like vacuumed it out or anything. Does anyone know this? I really think the full surgery was pretty much removing all the broken pieces and assessing the situation and I think worrying that I was probably not going to make it. I've heard this rumor a couple times. They never told me. It was all very positive where I was. I assume so. Let's see. So we had surgery. And this was all, this is kind of what I looked like after. I was about to grow a really nice man bun, and they shaved it right off. But I kind of looked like that for about a week and a half. I didn't do much. I just kind of laid there with ooze on my face and a pipe in my mouth and all of that. Also, Amber's here to tell you what I'm telling wrong, right, Amber?
That's right.
So anytime you feel like jumping in, jump right in. Let's see. So 10 days I was in a coma, right? Which I didn't actually know this before, but a coma is usually the choice of someone besides yourself, right? I assumed you got your head hit and you didn't wake up until you were ready. No, they kept putting, I have what kind of medicine? Oh, fentanyl in there. I don't know what that is either. They put the fentanyl in me to keep me in a coma type situation, and then they'd try and wake me up to see if I was ready, and I would complain that my head hurt, or I don't know, what did I complain about?
Oh, you didn't talk, like your body would thrash and stuff, and so they put you back down a little bit to keep you comfortable.
I don't know. Yeah.
You didn't wake up, like, you didn't wake up when you took it off.
I don't remember any of this, for the record. I was about 2 weeks after the crash before I remember anything. So everything before that, I'm just cheating, right? Like if you did this in your class, if you submitted something that someone else told you on a piece of paper and that was it, you might be in trouble. I already got fired, so I'm not worried. Let's see. Oh, I had pneumonia. My dad is convinced that I had pneumonia because I ate a hamburger from Wendy's. Yep. My wife is convinced she was wrong. But I had pneumonia, which lucky for me, a good time to have pneumonia is when you never even know it. So I didn't suffer from the pneumonia that I learned that I knew of. 7 days. What's that word? Squabs?
Close.
Oh, squoze. I tell you, your teacher is in trouble. After 7 days after the crash, I squoze Amber's hand. And that was a big, I don't know, happy moment for everybody. I wasn't doing much. 9 days later, I gave somebody a thumbs up. I don't remember how many days later, but at some point I also flipped people off. I think it was right around the same day, wasn't it?
After you woke up, you flipped.
Oh, good.
It was the nurse.
I'm sure I was trying to point and say, "You're awesome," but I got confused with the brain damage. Let's see, and the 10th day, breathing tube removed off of fentanyl. Oh yeah, they finally removed that breathing tube, which is another thing I'm glad I never experienced. Right, like a huge breathing tube in my mouth, down my throat, which was breathing me, which I guess is pretty good. I'm glad I remembered to breathe, or someone else remembered for me. It's kind of like having a wife. But the whole first 10 days, you can ask me whatever you want, and I'll have Amber answer it, because I really don't remember. I watched some videos and looked at a lot of pictures, but that's it. So, going to day 11, which was a long series of days. Oh wait, there were some pictures. Yeah, see that? That's all. I look the same in every picture, so they're not very exciting.
Is this at McKay, or where's this at?
This one is
Regional.
Ogden Regional, which I'm not making any judgments, but the pictures in Ogden Regional look a lot fancier than the ones at McKay. Because I moved to McKay right after that first 10 days or so. 14.
Day 14 you moved to.
Day 14?
Okay.
I don't remember Ogden Regional a single time. That must be when I started looking around and squeezing hands or something.
Well, you would open your eyes, but you weren't like awake. They were like blank, yeah.
Do you guys already know most of this stuff? Like, am I just telling you stuff you already know? Because I kind of.
I don't know.
Oh, good. Well, feel free to ask questions, even if you do know. What's going on there, Amber? Am I actually moving, or is that pretend?
Well, they removed all your tubes and stuff, so this must have been the 3 days you were in the ICU at Ogden Regional where you were semi-awake, I guess.
Okay. That's the back of my head in Ogden Regional. Oh, I didn't mention this. I've gotten so good at combing hair that you guys don't even know I have a scar. Well, you might. I don't know. I'm dumber than most. There's a scar that goes right here, and it goes across all the way down. In fact, exactly like the picture I passed around. And it comes down somewhere around here and goes up my ear. Don't worry about these. I can't remember this word.
Staples?
Don't worry about these staples. I'll talk about them in a minute. They're just for looks.
How many staples did you have the first time?
Well, the doctor said 900, but that didn't. Oh wait, 200.
200.
But we counted so many times there was like 110 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still a lot. 110 staples, and then I had to go get them all removed, which I thought would hurt a lot, and it didn't hurt at all. It was just like click, 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 click. And she was fast. She did all 100 staples in like 3 minutes. All right.
Can I have something about that?
Uh-huh.
So are you guys all in a nursing type? Okay, the nurses fought over who could take out his staples. Apparently that's a fun thing to do. Because they're like, can I be the nurse to take your staples out? And they're like, ooh, we're not taking them out till tomorrow. And so all the nurses wanted to do it. Apparently it's pretty fun.
You should have brought a pair of pliers or something, because these ones are good to go. That would have been fun.
Is anybody here taking out staples? Yeah, let's do it.
They're fun to take out.
They are.
Look, I really feel like I was just making a funny face at the nurses, like, oh, but that's really how my eyes were stuck. And I didn't even know it. Like, I don't know how long it was before like I started complaining that I had double vision. But I wasn't smart enough to know that I had double vision at first. Or I didn't have it, I don't know. So a couple things I wanted to talk about. We moved to McKay after the first 2 weeks. I don't know why, but no one asked me, so
Insurance
there.
purposes.
Oh, everything is insurance purposes, I guarantee. If you have a lot of time, I'll talk to you about insurance a bit, it'll be fun. So things that I had problems with. Oh, what? Her
Sorry.
name's Amber. Things I had problems with.
So they moved you from the ICU at Ogden Regional to McKay's neuro rehab facility. So that's why you were moved as well.
Oh.
But you went to the neuro rehab at McKay.
Because they decided I probably was going to be alive still.
Yeah, they decided you were doing good enough to
Well, you know.
leave. Sorry. Well enough.
I don't know, sometimes I do good. All right. So problems I had walking. Well, I didn't walk for like, I don't know, 14 days or so. And Amber got really upset because one of the first nurses, the first thing she did was say, let's get this guy walking. Which was good. I'm glad I learned to walk again. But it was really hard. Like, I don't know how you could forget how to walk in only 14 days, but my legs didn't want to work. I obviously didn't have much strength in them. And after a month of being there, walking back and forth, it was still pretty bad. You know, I had these cool necklaces on. That's not the right word.
Gate belt. A gate belt.
A gate belt, yeah. Which you had to strap up. It was like you were under arrest or something. And someone would walk behind you and hold on to your belt so you didn't escape or fall to the ground or something. But it was hard, right? You progressed from taking a couple steps to having 2 people escort you to the bathroom. Oh my gosh, this bathroom written on there. I tell you what, if you learn this part, you might not want to become a nurse or anything, because I had so many people watch me go to the bathroom all the time. It's like, at first it was a little uncomfortable. And after a couple of weeks, it's like, hey, bring your friends. It was weird. Yes. So that's what you have to look forward to. Swallow. That was maybe the biggest problem in my brain for a little while. Because, believe it or not, I did not know how to swallow things. I never even remember learning that. But I couldn't drink liquids, I couldn't eat food, I couldn't put anything in my mouth, because I would decide to put it into my lungs and cough every time. And I think cough is maybe the next one, or headaches. The cough and the headaches were the worst thing in the world. I can't even imagine now. They used to always ask, what's your pain level at? And I would say, if I was in a good day, an 8. If I just coughed a little, I'd say a 9. And if I coughed 2 or 3 times, I wouldn't say anything. I never said a 10 that I know of, because I couldn't move. It was like I was done for. Only 2 or 3 coughs. But I don't know how you learn that again. Luckily, they just gave it time, which I get really annoyed about, because everyone says everything takes time in this business, and I hate that. I'm not a big fan of time. But after, I don't know, do you know how long it was before? It was probably about 3 to 4 weeks
3 to 4 weeks, yeah.
before I got to eat anything or drink anything. They'd let me suck on a little wet rug. But finally I got to eat mash, like food that was all pureed, yeah. everyone's smarter than me. I ate purees and they were delicious until I ate real food and then went back and tried another puree. They were not good anymore. Yeah, that was hard. And they had this cool video where they like recorded you swallowing and gave you different types of food to eat, and it was mostly like thicker and thicker gunk that you ate. Somehow you stayed alive or something. But we watched me swallow, and like the nurse lectured, okay, this is where you're not doing well enough right there. We gotta keep practicing. It was really weird. Headaches, oh yeah, lots of headaches. Every time I moved, I couldn't touch the ground without my head getting really headachy. I can do that now. That's impressive. We met a guy who could touch the ground. What's heads up, Amber?
You couldn't hold your head up.
Oh yeah, I was like this.
So you walked around like that.
I couldn't lift my head up. I don't even know why. Like it strained my neck or something, but it felt like I might be like this the whole rest of my life. But for like 3 weeks-ish,
Yeah.
and then slowly it started coming back, and now I look like my normal dumb self again. Oh, numbness. Oh my gosh, does anyone want to bite my leg? It's kind of fun. I don't feel hardly anything in this whole leg, a lot of the foot, so I tip over, it's because I didn't know where my foot was. But then about 50% numbness in this half of the body, and it's been 6 months, so I'm starting to wonder what's going to happen with this numbness. It actually doesn't cause too many problems other than every once in a while, like I really slip and I'm like, what the heck happened there? I just don't know. And it bugs me like at nighttime because I'm trying to go to sleep, and it's like if your leg got frozen and it was dehydrating or something, and suddenly you're like, okay, this is weird. But it's been like that non-stop. I have had my wife bite my leg a time or two to check. There's only one way to know for sure. So we've tested a couple times, still numb.
Do they think the numbness will come back, the feeling, or do they think
Oh
they
my
don't know?
gosh,
Time?
yes, I hate it. It's like everyone is like, yeah, it'll come back, it just takes time. Or, I don't know, it just takes time. What am I paying you people for? For the record, I'm not paying anyone for anything.
You should mention that you'd take your socks off, but you'd leave it on. Like halfway, because you didn't know it was still
Like,
on.
you know, you're taking your socks off. Well, I've done it actually quite a few times. You take your sock off, and it's still halfway on, but I didn't realize. And I'll be walking around, and someone reminds me that my sock is still on my foot. I actually, was it last week or so? I was walking, in this very shoes. Yes. I'm walking along, getting ready to go somewhere. I'm like, I think something's in my shoe. I take it off, and take my whole shoe off, and somebody's charge cable is inside my shoe. Let's see, numbness. Oh, I don't know why I wrote showers. I took showers in there. They were also headed by, I always want to say nurses. Was it the nurses or therapists? CNAs. People helped me shower. Apparently the first time I didn't really understand how it went about, because apparently the first CNA was soaking wet from top to bottom. I thought that was standard. I thought they got a free cleaning when you did too. Not the case. But it was good. Like with everything, as I got to be more comfortable and more able, CNAs and nurses were very willing to give me that space to grow. So I would do things like, towards the end, be able to go into the bathroom, and I don't know that I ever shut the door, but they have like a paper door that you like fold across, and I could like have some peace and quiet in there for a little. And believe it or not, taking showers was one of the happiest moments of my life while I was in the hospital. just sitting there in the nice hot water and relaxing, and the CNAs were very pleasant to let you do that. It was important to me. I don't know why, but it was like that one moment where I felt to be like I was going towards normal. Oh, it's never gonna work, no matter how many times I touch it.
We're old school here.
This is the first shower. I don't even remember this one. They just like took a wet paper and wiped it down on me. Oh, I didn't get this video to record. This was the funniest video ever. Okay, our therapist thought I really liked soccer, so that would help me to learn. So we were doing passes, and she passed the ball. I should have had someone demonstrate it with me. Passed the ball, and the ball goes by, and I look down, and the ball hits the ground, and someone walks back to pick up the ball, and they pick it up, and then I go. It took a little while for my brain to like catch up to my feet. Now I can almost kick a ball as bad as I ever did. Amber cried a lot. I don't know why I put that one on. I just think it's a cute picture. I think important thing to know, whether you're nurse or all the people below the nurse. No wait, or above the nurse. All people. The people that are involved in anything are having a bad day. Amber still has bad days all the time. She'll look at me and she'll see my funny looking face, and all of a sudden you see like her tears kind of well up a little bit, and she's like, I signed on for better than this. I think that's how it goes, right, Amber? I don't know what that picture is, but I had that's where my food came in. It went in my nose and down to my stomach, which I thought was pretty minor, until they pull it out and it's like this long. It's like they just shoved that thing into your nose so far. And the good news is, I lost like 15 pounds in like, what, 2 months? Oh man, I might sign up for it again. All right. So we went through a lot of therapy and stuff for a month, a little more than a month, till finally they said, Nick is okay enough, we could send him home. Finally, get rid of him. And so we went home. We had to do some stuff to get ready. They had to prepare our house. They did weird stuff, I think, like pull all of our rugs out of the entire house because they were afraid I was going to trip on a rug. They put doors next to every toilet in my house, which to this day I can go in there and just for safety's sake I can grab a door before I. What?
It's a handle.
Sound a door? I used to be smart. Did I mention I was a teacher for like 16 years? That's a problem. So yeah, we have handles that are built in. We'll probably take them out one day, or we'll just leave them in there for the rest of our lives. Who knows? There were also like in the shower. There were, I don't know what to call those things. I call them handles again, huh? No, they're doors. No, handles. It's a lot of pressure. They're in the bathroom, like we put things on the inside the sink so you don't slip.
Anti-slip
Anti-slip
gripper.
or
I don't know.
slipper gripper. Those are still in there. Those are coming out soon because they're starting to turn brown. Let's see. Oh, no school until January 26th. You know how I passed the skull around? Like